Sauerkraut. Well, it's fall here in the Northeast, in Pennsylvania, the United States of America, if you're viewing this from overseas. And I have my Jets cap on because we're big football fans up here, and after that amazing win on Sunday, the New York Jets beat the Cleveland Browns, we're going to do some sauerkraut. This is fresh cabbage. And we're going to do an old-fashioned recipe, probably the turn of the century. They did this, not this century, the previous century, from 1900s to the 19th century. Usually when I do my sauerkraut, I put it in a crock like this. It has a lid on it. I pack it in, put the lid on, pour water around here to seal it. Now, there's other ways of doing sauerkraut where they have an open crock. They'll massage the salt in this. They'll put it in the crock. They'll pound it down nice and tight. We're not going to do that because that has an open lid. I don't like the bacteria that gets in there and the great flavor that escapes. Now, that's just my opinion, but I've been doing this for a while. So what I did was I did chop some of this up. So I'm not going to go through the whole process of chopping it up, but I will just show you how to prepare a fresh head of cabbage. Been triple, quadruple washed just to get any impurities off the cabbage. It's at room temperature. We did put it in the refrigerator for about a week because we wanted to store it, and we didn't know when we were going to have some sauerkraut. But we're going to add sauerkraut. We're going to add about 4 to 5 quarts of sauerkraut to my collection for the winter. So what we're going to do, we're just going to cut this down with a nice sharp knife. And we're going to core it. Make sure you leave all your fingers there. Just be careful. So we core it. We'll core this one here. We're going to cut it in half. Now, you could slice it really tight if you want. I like my mandolin. This is my only instrument I play, it's the mandolin. My grandmother used to play the mandolin, so I figured, why shouldn't I? So I just scrape that. I get a nice even cut. I'll get it down to where we don't want that. You put that on a sandwich sometime. But see, let's get this out of the way. We take out the larger pieces, and we have some nice shredded cabbage. Now, we're going to make this real simple, folks. There's no need to spend all day in the kitchen. We'll leave those, and when I'm done, I can always do them later. Let's get this out of the way, too. Put this over here in the sink. What I have in here, and this is, I think, a pretty clever idea. I'm sterilizing my jars that I'm going to use for the cabbage and the sauerkraut. So these have been boiling. I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. These jars are sterile. And what I'm going to do, there it is. It's red. I should be able to find it, right? We're going to put the cabbage in here. And we're going to pack them nice. And I'm going to do 1 jar. Because again, you don't need to see repetition after repetition. So we take our little tool. We want to get it not too packed, but we want to fill this jar up. And I can hear my water boiling. These things are hot and sanitary. And usually the crock is not as sanitary as this because the fermentation will take care of all the germs, will take care of all the bacteria, the bad bacteria, I say. Just a little more. Now, see how messy I am? That's pretty good. We're going to put that aside. With this, I'm going to take some salt. It's a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put right in there. Put it right over top. And we're going to take some sugar. Look at my Jets bowl. Man, that was a sweet win, baby. So I had to put the sugar in the bowl. Then we're going to add a teaspoon of sugar. And to make it a little sour, like the sauerkraut, and to help it ferment, we're going to put a teaspoon of vinegar. Put that down. We're going to put that back on. We're going to grab that ladle, and the water that's in here, because it's so sterile, I don't have to worry about it. We're going to just pour that water right over there. We're going to fill it up to about just below the rim. And then we're going to get the bubbles out. Okay, she's almost there, but I want to use my tool and get some of the bubbles out. Now, by putting the hot water in there, the sugar and the salt and the vinegar all dissolved. I think we need a little bit more water. That's perfect. I'll take this baby off of here. I'll set that there. I'm going to put that, oh, I forgot to do the most important thing. I got to clean the rim off. Just in case. You want a perfect seal. You don't want anything in the way from the rubber to seal. Now these have been in a warm jar. Now I have a little tool here that I don't have to put it in a water bath anymore. I don't have to put it in a pressure cooker. I have a vacuum sealer. And I put the pump on, and I just have to do until all the air is out. I'll take this off, I'll put the rim cap on, put it on the shelf. That's how I do sauerkraut. And it's fantastic. You have to let it on the shelf for about 4 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks. It's a little longer process, but it is so worth the effort of so simple, so easy. And all this modern equipment we have now, and it's just a wonderful thing, sauerkraut. Now, the reason why I do sauerkraut is, well, I don't eat many hot dogs. I don't eat many processed meats. But what I do with the sauerkraut is, you can have a sauerkraut soup. Fantastic. I'll take this when it's ready, and I'll put it in the refrigerator, and I'll take a forkful every day for my stomach. It has helped my stomach immeasurably. I'm not in any type of pills or Prafacet or anything like that. It really helps acid indigestion. Well, I hope you like this presentation. I'll get about 4 or 5 more of these, and I'm going to go right on the shelf for the winter. God bless. Hope you have a great day.